Hello, I'm Brandy Johnson, and I'm here to talk to you about the Radium Girls. Are you glad that your company doesn't turn you into a human glow stick? That's basically what happened to the Radium Girls. And they fought the companies that did that to them to help change the labor laws today, so people like you and me don't have to go through that. I firsthand didn't experience this, obviously, but I've done a lot of research on it, and they even made a movie about it. Highly recommend that. Haven't got to watch it yet, but it's probably pretty good. What happens when companies lie about things that can make you die? Well, a few of the things that happened I'm going to tell you about. In the 20th century, in the United States, a lot of factories were open up because of World War I. And they were making things glow, like the dials of things glow, with a paint called Undark. It was radium based, and they had these girls in the factories painting them. Here is a picture of some of the radium dial girls. And here are some of the names of the people who fought in that court case to change those laws. Well, they employed thousands of workers, and they told them to get that perfect point on their brush to twist it between their lips, and that it was completely safe and not to worry about it. So these girls, they would do that. They would paint their nails with it. They would put some on their teeth, on their cheeks, because they liked the glowy thing. Thought it was safe. But behind closed doors, the owners of the companies and the people who run them, the scientists, they all wore protective gear and stayed away from it if they could. Anyhow, so this started to affect these girls badly. They started having their teeth fall out, abscesses form, they got cancer, they got weak, their bones became brittle, so many different cases. And then the companies, they tried to write it off as syphilis and abscesses and different things whenever these girls would die, and they didn't want to take responsibility for it. Whenever these 5 girls, they started making the connections between what was happening to them and why it was happening, essentially. So they decided to fight the companies. They brought in a scientist who radium tested them to show that they still were radioactive after all that time. And the companies brought in a doctor who they had paid off, and he was told to lie about the results, saying that they weren't radioactive or anything. And this was the U.S. Radium Corporation, the Radium Dial Company, and the Waterbury Clock Company was the 3 biggest companies. Well, anyhow, they tried to drag out this trial, and until they thought that the girls were going to die. But those girls, they stuck in there, and they wound up settling out of court, but they didn't give up the fight. And they changed the law, because after that, it started being brought to light, like, this is not okay for companies to do this. There's going to be consequences. We can't have our population just,
you're fine,
getting killed by the companies that they work for. So, yes, look up Radium Jaw if you get the chance. That's kind of freaky, but it's a good visual reminder to show you, why we should be thankful for the people that come before us who really paved the way for the laws today. Anyhow, thank you, and you guys have a good night.